If you play WWE 2K Universe Mode, you've noticed that it's been getting worse and worse and worse every year. That is right. I've been thinking to myself, is that actually true? Like, WWE 12 is the goated Universe Mode. You get all the cutscenes. It's just the craziest stuff happens in that Universe Mode. That's probably the best one to go back and play if you want to play a good Universe Mode. But when you boot into the current Universe Mode and even years in the past, you're thinking, man, there's something off about this. What's going on here? Well, Catch-O-Mania actually came out and kind of shone light on an old interview from 4 months ago with the Pro Wrestling Shoot. They actually interviewed lead designer of WWE 2K24 Universe Mode, and Catch-O-Mania kind of summarized it here for us. So I'll link to that tweet, and I'll actually link to that full video if you want to check out that full interview. But he came out here and he said, watch the interview with the lead designer. He's maintaining the mode. He can't improve it. When he tries to implement certain things, he just breaks things more and more. The whole mode is a disaster. They actually don't have a clue how they can stabilize it or add things to the mode. They know the pay-per-view calendar F's everything up because the system is made to feature the pay-per-view at the end of each month, but with the actual schedule of the WWE, it will not work, but they are doing it nonetheless. Or how they remove random attire option because they couldn't figure out how to block attires from my faction. This year with Persona cards, they couldn't bring the option back, but they didn't because they didn't want to touch it. And how long have we been asking for tournaments in Universe Mode? That will never happen because they can't code the match cards. This mode is beyond repairability. It's just in the game for being just in the game at this point. And I was thinking that myself before I finished reading this entire thing. Was it feels like Universe Mode is in the game because that is a mode that is a staple of the WWE Games at this point, and you have to put that in the game. When they introduced Universe Mode, the concept was amazing. You just book all these matches, you put these people on these rosters, and the matches would be made out for you. Some feuds would be created, and you could watch it play out, and there'd be cutscenes, and there'd be all kinds of crazy stuff. There was promos at one point, and that was awesome, and we loved it. It was great, and I had some awesome series where I did SVR all the way up, and I played tons of Universe Mode, made long things starting all the way from the day after WrestleMania all the way to the next WrestleMania. I built factions in the industry. I pushed Wade Barrett. I pushed Cody Rhodes. All this stuff. Evan Bourne. I did all this crazy stuff, and I thought it was so cool, and I loved it. And Universe was awesome. And then as years went on, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. WWE 12, I will say, is the most goated Universe Mode. So again, if you ever want to play Universe Mode, go to WWE 12. There's all these crazy cutscenes, and it's just the best. It's just the best Universe Mode if you want to play that out. But as years go on, it got worse, and now we're finding out from this interview that flew under the radar. I didn't even know this interview came out until I saw the tweet from Catch-O-Mania. They just can't fix things without breaking the game, which is something that is very, 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 very terrible as a developer. When you are creating new features for a game and you create a new feature in a different game mode and then that breaks another game mode, you have to do a balance of power here. Which one is more important here? You get the My Faction and you get the attires and you go, okay, we want the My Faction attires, but if we do those, it's breaking the Universe Mode. Well, let's just remove the feature for the random attire option so that they won't get the Persona attires, and then you're good there. But now you took a feature away to make another feature in My Faction. Is it good? Is it better? Is it worse? I don't know. It's up to you, whatever you think. But they're just taking Universe Mode down and down and down and down to where it's basically bare bones and you just have matches. When you play Universe Mode, to me, I tried to start Universe Mode and play it through, and I feel like I don't get any cutscenes. I don't get anything interesting happening. Like if you go through WWE 12 Universe Mode, you get a ton of cutscenes. I think that has the most cutscenes that pop up in any Universe Mode, and I don't know if it's got the most cutscenes that are in the game, but I think it's got the most cutscenes that actually show up as a Universe Mode. But that's what I want out of a Universe Mode, right? You're playing a match, and then random thing will happen in the middle of the match, or at the end of the match, or at the beginning of the match, and then the storyline will play out, and you'll get to see these cool things happen. Even when you go in and create feuds, and you do certain actions, and you do things, it just doesn't feel like it should would play out the way that it does. And also they were talking about the pay-per-view schedule is screwing everything up. Yeah, the way the modern WWE schedule is, and with the, the NXTs and the pay-per-views and the, you have the NXT specials and all that stuff that goes on, but you can't really build to that because it just doesn't feel like it fits in there. When you try to edit the card, or you try to edit the calendar, it's like, okay, so I put this one here, then I put this in here, then I put this here, but then I have to make an NXT thing here. But does it actually build to that? Because it's not really a pay-per-view, it's like a special. So it's like a TV special, like if you put Halloween Havoc, NXT Halloween Havoc, but it's not a pay-per-view, but it's a special. So you have some big matches on there, but it's not actually a pay-per-view, but it just doesn't feel right. It's like the whole atmosphere of it just feels off. It's like you're building towards something that just does nothing. You do all this stuff, you draft your roster, right? The most fun is to pick your rosters, and then you see where the brands end up, and then you sim a year in the head and you see what the champions are. But I feel like if you sim like 500 years, right? What I would like to see, like you sim like 5 years into the future, it's like you still have the same people on the same rosters. It just seems like it's the same people as the same champions, and then it's just like recycled, right? You know what I mean? It's like, what I would like to see out of a universe mode that I think would be pretty cool is that people would get fired, like they would literally get fired from the WWE, so they're not even on the roster anymore, they're inactive. I'd like to see people get traded between brands like all the time, like, okay, so this guy's going here, NXT call-ups, that kind of thing would be crazy all the time, where it'd be like, okay, like you're playing universe mode and then you just get like a notification like this guy got called up. And it's like, wow, okay, so this guy's coming up from NXT and they're going to Raw. Like, that would be like a crazy thing. Like, or you read the news and it's like, oh yeah, Braun Breaker had debuted from NXT and now he's on Raw or something. Like that would be awesome. That's like what I would like to see. That's like the modern WWE stuff that we don't have in here, that just makes it feel like the WWE, which is what universe mode is all supposed to be. Hey, play the WWE. This is the simulation, the WWE. You can make the pay-per-views, do the calendar, have the rosters, all that stuff, but it never feels like what you want it to be. And if you can't make it authentic, you have to just go forward with this mode and decide what's the best option here. And honestly, what I think the best option is to just scrap the whole mode entirely and start from the beginning. The Ridge wallet has been my go-to wallet for over a year. That's why I was super excited to have them sponsor this video. The wallet has a slim design that can hold up to 12 cards. It's RFID blocking to protect you against digital theft. It has a lifetime warranty, and they offer a 99-day risk-free trial right now. I recently upgraded to the carbon fiber wallet, which I think looks great, and I opted to get the AirTag cash strap holder, so I always know my wallet is at all times. Make sure you click the tag product on the screen and use code YouTube10 to save 10% on your order. I mean, they have the core foundation. They have the blueprint, I would say, of what a good universe mode would be, what they would want, how they would want it. I know they do. I know they have to have somewhere in the 2K headquarters, they have to have a blueprint of like, this is what we would like the ultimate universe mode to look like. There's got to be the lead designer or somebody there has to go, this is my mode. This is what I would, if I could make universe mode, I would have all of this in it. So I think, yes, it sucks. Yes, you're taking a huge feature away from the WWE community. People that play these games and saying, well, we're just taking universe mode out. But man, you got to be straight with people. You have to say, yo, we know that this sucks. We know that this has been lackluster. We understand that universe mode has not been good over the years. We know that it's gotten worse over the years, and it's not because we're trying to break it. We're not trying to make it worse. It's like we do new things in the game, and then the features of universe mode just don't work for what's supposed to happen. Things will break universe mode, and then it will be unplayable totally 100%. And so you can either have it at 40% or 20%, whatever they're at right now, or you could scrap it all and start over from the beginning. I mean, you already have the blueprint, the foundation, as I said, of what you think it should be. You have the bare bones of like, okay, so we know we need a calendar. We know we need to have rosters. We know we need to have feuds that actually happen and create organically. Royal Rumble winner goes on to WrestleMania, such and such and such, Elimination Chamber, yada yada yada. all that stuff, right? So you have all those things that are important, Money in the Bank, you know, the big moments in the WWE. Those are simple, right? You know the moments in the WWE that you have to put in a mode like this. Like, okay, so we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. This is important to the WWE. So then you can have those little things like I was talking about. Oh, there's call-ups from NXT. Oh, guys retire or they get fired. Maybe you could just do a page out of the MyGM where you could have free agents. You know, in MyGM they have free agents, which, you know, you have like random people that are from the indies. They're not even like real people in MyGM. They're just like random, like one of them's like a mime and whatever, he's in there. So you have those guys who are like free agents. You put them in universe mode and then they just randomly show up and they're like, who's this guy? Oh, what? Oh, this guy's part of the roster now. And then you see him debut or whatever, or like even like hype packages, you know, whatever they do there. So it's like, yeah, those little things where you can start putting the things that are like, oh, we have new people going into this. I would love to see like an option here, right? I don't know how this would work, but an option that I would love to see for universe mode would be to like randomly pull people from community creations and put them in your universe mode. Like you could check a box to say, yeah, just every day, whenever, once a month or whatever, load up and then have one or two guys trickle into your universe mode and debut, because that's what's going to keep this fresh. If you have Randy Orton on top from right now all the way to the year 2099, then what's the point, right? Or you have John Cena who's just the same thing. What's the point? That's how it feels. It feels like, okay, so Roman Reigns is the best in the game, right? Or most highest rated guy in the game. You know, last year, overall 100, 1 year in the game. So it's like, is he always going to be the top guy? Well, if you have him in this universe mode, of course he's going to be. Like, there needs to be like ebbs and flows of this. Like, okay, so my guy is injured, he's gone, and maybe he'll come back as a babyface instead of a heel. You know, like those are the things that you need to implement in here. And I feel like that was something of the past. I recall stuff like that happening before, where guys would get injured and then they'd come back and then it'd be a big deal and you'd be like, whoa, what the, that's awesome. But I feel like it's kind of not the issue there. So again, I think the best option here right now, since we're knowing that trying to do anything new or like changing features or doing things is just going to break the mode, and then it just better to just leave it alone and go, okay, we don't want to touch this because we're going to break it. It's better to just kind of scrap it and say, you know, be honest with the community. Like, this sucks. This is not what we wanted. Here's why. Now we're going to, you know, work on it. I don't know how long it's going to take them. I feel like they need at least a year of a dedicated team if they're going to build this from the ground up. I mean, maybe 2 years. If you wanted to get to a bare bones state, I don't know, but I feel like you need to get something where it's like, okay, this is a new mode. We're going to redo it and we're going to make it what we always wanted it to be. Honestly, I'm saying this as someone who played Universe Mode all the way back in the day, and I've seen it all, and I just know that Universe Mode deserves that love because it's a big part. Universe Mode is supposed to be you playing the current WWE product with the pay-per-views, the NXT, the live events, all that stuff. You know, that would be very cool if they could just fix the issues that are going on there. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think about all of this, and what would you do to improve Universe Mode? If you could do a couple things in Universe Mode, what would they be? As always, I'm TonyPizzaGuy. We'll see you in another video.